What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Demetrius Andrade versus Jason Quigley, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBO Middleweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Friday, November 19th, from the SNHU Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN. And to get into both fighters' resumes, Demetrius Andrade, fighting out of the United States, holds a record of 30 wins, no defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 6 by BoxRec in the middleweight division. He's also the current WBO Middleweight World Champion, as well as the former WBO super-welterweight World Champion and the former WBA super-welterweight World Champion. And now to list some of his best victories, he has a split decision victory over Vanes Matirosyan. He has a split decision victory over Jack Kulkai, a unanimous decision victory over Alantis Fox, a knockout victory over Artur Arkavov, a unanimous decision victory over Maciej Sulecki, a knockout victory over Luke Keeler, and he's coming off definitely the best victory of his career so far, a unanimous decision victory over Liam Williams. And now to get into his opponent's resume, Jason Quigley, fighting out of Ireland, holds a record of 19 wins, 1 defeat, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 20 by BoxRec in the middleweight division. And to list his one and only defeat, it came by knockout against Turiano Johnson, where he got stopped in his corner at the end of the 9th round. And now to list some of his best victories, he has a unanimous decision victory over Glenn Tapia, a unanimous decision victory over Freddie Hernandez, and he's coming off one of the best victories of his career thus far, a majority decision victory over Shane Mosley Jr., and that fight could have went either way, and from what I remember, I'm pretty sure I had it 96-94 in favor of Mosley Jr. And in my opinion, this fight between Andrade and Quigley is a mismatch, and I think that Andrade will dominate and get a stoppage victory in the end. I mean, Andrade is just so much more experienced, so much better than Quigley. I mean, we saw in Quigley's last fight, I mean, he won life and death with a fighter who's probably not even in the top 25 in Shane Mosley Jr., and, I mean, I wonder what Andrade is going to do to Quigley. I do think Quigley might be able to survive a good amount of rounds, because Andrade usually does start off extremely strong, and scores knockdowns and dominates, but then he sort of slows it down a bit and then picks up later on in the fight. I mean, we saw that especially against Luke Keeler, where he came out guns blazing, scoring knockdowns, and then he sort of was a bit more composed, then waited a bit, and then was able to stop Keeler in the 9th round ultimately. And I think it's going to end very, very similar, and we could see a very, very similar fight. And that's not just because Quigley's an Irishman and he's going to get knocked out. It's just because their style and experience is very similar. Quigley, I mean, he's already lost by knockout before. He got stopped, as I mentioned earlier, by Turiano Johnson, and Johnson isn't that great. I mean, Johnson, in his own right, is probably not even top 20 in the middleweight division. Maybe if you want to count him there, but I mean, roughly top 20. But Quigley, I mean, in his last fight, he definitely looked improved from his fight against Johnson. His stamina was definitely better, but he was still pretty tired at the end of that fight, especially Shane Mosley as well. I mean, both of them did put up a good fight, but still, his stamina didn't look great. But for Andrade, I mean, his style in this fight, he's going to need to come forward to make a statement. I mean, many people were expecting him to fight like a Charlo, Triple G, Canelo, whoever, like the top guys in the world right now, but he didn't. So he really needs to get a statement victory, and I'd be proud of him for that, because I do want to see these big fights happening. So I would really actually want to see Andrade just destroy Quigley, so we could possibly see Andrade step up a bit more. And that's one problem with Andrade, is his resume. I know many people say, oh, he'll beat Canelo, he'll beat this guy, but I want to see him get tested. I know we saw him beat Liam Williams, but that's Liam Williams. That's not anyone in the top 5 nor top 6, anywhere from around there. Liam Williams is, if not in the top 10, or just outside it. But Andrade's style in this fight, he's probably going to be the one coming forward, dominating. I can see Quigley trying to have his own burst of offense, but it won't really work too well. And I could definitely see Quigley getting dropped early on, similar to many of Andrade's opponents in his last couple fights, and ultimately stopped later on. I think Quigley will survive a majority of the rounds after possibly getting dropped earlier in the fight, and then he'll ultimately get stopped either in the corner, similar to the Turiano Johnson fight, if not stopped standing, anything like that. I think it will be probably a TKO win for Demetrius Andrade, but obviously that goes in for a knockout. But Andrade, just far more experienced, too powerful, too slick for Jason Quigley, and definitely too fast. And I don't think Quigley will be able to compete at all. And with that being said, I mean, Andrade should be able to get a pretty easy knockout victory. I mean, this is really just a showcase fight for Andrade to possibly set up an even bigger fight, if not fighting the winner of like a Triple G versus Murata, something like that, hopefully by summer of 2022. So overall, I believe that Demetrius Andrade will defeat Jason Quigley by knockout, and once again, the stoppage will happen from rounds 8 to rounds 12. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.